officially here. Here we are. That was fun. Okay, we are live on Facebook, and now we're going to add our Instagram people, and a big thank you to people who will be joining us on YouTube as well. So it's going to be fun with Thanksgiving right around the corner, and I am excited to be talking to the gorgeous redhead Anna Stewart, who has been writing for quite a while. You're just a baby, but you've been writing for forever. So I'm excited to for all of you to have a chance to get to know Anna a little bit better and find out what she writes. And we're going to also be talking about Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving traditions. And my gang are pretty much well trained. They come in to know, to tell us where they're ringing in from so that we can get a good idea who all is here. And here's our first arrival. Hi, Pam. Gatlinburg has arrived. Very happy to see you here. It's going to be a fun day with just no games, but we do have, for those who are present and commenting, we of course will have a giveaway thanks to Anna, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. New Jersey has arrived. Hi, Diane. Hi, Patty is here from Minnesota. And so, and some of our, and hello to our Instagram gang. Some of them are ringing in. Thank you guys for joining us. I was just saying it just pays to arrive and be live because there is usually a giveaway, and Anna is providing that for us today. So big thank you to her. Nancy has made it in from Wisconsin, so very happy. The East Coast has arrived. So anyway, we're going to get started and start visiting. And some of you might not be familiar with who Anna is, but she has written a lot of books. And how many books are you up to now?
I just started my 68th book.
58.
68.
Books, you guys. 68?
68.
58.
68.
Wow, that's impressive. By the way, I love, if you go to her website, which we'll tell you about later, I love how you sum things up. She writes heartwarming and romantic suspense books, but I love this. It says you write heart-stopping happily ever afters. I think that's just a great way to sum up your books. And we all love our happy ever afters. Whew, I can't talk today, you guys. I just washed my mouth and I can't do a thing with it. So hello, all our late ones who have come in, Jeannie and Cindy and Ann. I'm so happy you guys could join us. So here we are, like I said, talking with the amazing Anna Stewart. Tell us a little bit about how you got started writing, because you have been writing since you were very young.
I think I was always a storyteller because I can remember being like super young I used to make up my own Star Trek stories growing up. I can remember being in my bedroom making up stories about Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. It was looking back, it was very odd, but also I still do that kind of way. So when I was in high school, which would have been the early 80s in San Francisco, I had discovered romance novels. I picked up my first romance, or actually my friends and I started writing like these mini romance novels, what now we would call fan fiction, where it would star ourselves and our favorite rock stars, and eventually people had me writing their stories because I just had so much fun with it. And everybody else kind of dropped off and lost interest. And I just kept going. I'm like, I love the whole idea of creating something out of nothing. And then when I was a sophomore, we used to take those standardized tests in high school where you're supposed to discover your aptitude, of which I had.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember
I had none. I was a horrible student. But so I would fill out my Scantron and be done super early because I wouldn't even read the questions. I would just fill in the Scantron sheet in a pretty pattern because it made more sense to me than the stupid questions. So I had nothing to do, and I had forgotten to bring a book with me. And I was always a voracious reader, and a friend of mine she had an extra romance novel with her, and it was Honora Roberts. It was a Silhouette Intimate Moments. It was number 96. It was called Partners. I read that book that day, and I got to the end of that book, and I went, oh my God, I have to do this. This is what I have to do. And that was when I was 14, and it never flagged. It never went away. It was always the dream. And now it took me quite a few years to get there. and to do the hard work and learning the craft and doing all of that. So I sold my first novella to Harlequin in 2014, thanks to
Wow.
our mutual friend Melinda Curtis. She was really instrumental in helping me get that first sale.
That is
So
so cool. I
yeah,
love
it
that.
took a while, but it was the dream, and I just wasn't going to stop until it happened. So
I love that. I love that kind of determination. I mean, I think that's so inspiring because sometimes it's very easy to give up, and we're such a instant society. Like if this doesn't happen instantly, it must not be for me. That doesn't have to be the
right.
case. Sometimes it takes a while, right, to make that dream happen.
Yeah, and actually my senior quote in my yearbook was, nothing worthwhile comes easy. Hard work only makes you appreciate it more. And I think that's absolutely true. Ironically, that quote was from a romance novel that I had read. It was a
I
time
love that.
travel.
Oh, that's
So
very cool. By the way, hi to all of you who've come in late. I see Zephyr Hills has arrived, and I lost track with everything screaming in, but thank you everyone who has joined us. I see Carolyn's here and Diane, Susie Baldwin, Debbie and Aspen. So you guys, thank you. I hope you're enjoying this so far. We are going to be talking turkey here and some Thanksgiving trivia in a little bit, but first of all, we had to get to know our fabulous guest today, Anna. And don't you love that she started young? That she knew right away, but she also kept going. And did any of you ever have to take those aptitude tests in high school? I remember there was the spatial concept one, and they'd show you, I don't know, a box or something all spread out, and what's it supposed to look like, when you put it together. I had no idea. I have no spatial concepts. So
thankfully we don't need that in the romance world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to know. Yeah, right. I don't need to know that stuff to write a romance, so, but
right.
I still remember, I just did awful. And so I had no aptitude for any of the practical things. I think sometimes that's the case with us creatives. We are really good at creating things and spinning stories, writing songs, doing art, that kind of thing. But sometimes the more practical things, it's like, ugh. So yeah, I'd love to ring in if anybody says, yeah, I had to take those. And what did you excel at when you were tested to see what your aptitude was? That would be kind of fun to know. Jeannie says, Jeannie says she doesn't test well. It make me testy. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So yeah, Nicole said she did. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining us. Arlington, Texas. And some more of our Instagram people have come. That's very fun that you're with us here. So, but aren't we glad that she figured out what her aptitude was? She got going young, and she's still going strong, which says a lot because publishing is kind of a hard business this way. It's a challenge.
Oh, it's always presenting new challenges.
Yeah, it is. And so you have to really love what you're doing to keep at it. But so you got started writing in high school. She's done all these books now so far. So, the big thing now in romance landia is kind of fun. People talk about their favorite tropes, and the trope is that well-used theme in a book. And do you have a favorite trope?
I have a couple. I love the friends to lovers or friends to more trope, because I really do think the best relationships start with friendship. So I think that's probably my favorite trope to write. My second favorite, my catnip are revenge stories. I love revenge stories, which feed much more into my suspense stuff than the small town sweet romances that I write. But I don't know. It probably says more about me than I would like people to know. I'm a sucker for something like The Count of Monte Cristo, where it's coming back and exacting revenge for wrongdoings. I mean, I just love that.
We all believe in justice and those kind of books.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Wild West type thing. You get your revenge one way or the other. But yeah, exactly. I think those are always a good story. By the way, I love Pam says, I remember taking an aptitude test in 8th grade. It was way too early. That's interesting. I think sometimes, though, the things you are doing as a child are a good indicator of what you'll be doing as a grown-up, because you were into the stories young, not as a child, but as a teenager. I was making up stories when I was a kid and writing little songs. And I think sometimes, and so moms out there or grandmas, if you see a child who's leaning on one way and making up stories or is very math oriented and put together, is taking away we don't have alarm clocks anymore, do we? But taking away apart your cell phone and putting it back together or whatever, that could be a very good indication of what that child might want to be doing as an adult. Yeah. So I think that's really interesting. So favorite trope, and describe, and you guys out there, you can do this too. Everybody, describe your favorite book boyfriend. If, what kind of book boyfriend do you like when you're reading a romance novel?
Oh, honorable,
Oh, I
honest,
like that.
and empathetic. Someone who can put himself in other people's shoes and doesn't just see the world in one way, is able to see multiple aspects of an existence. Compassion is a big thing for me. And also, you can't go wrong with a little bit of protectiveness. I mean, there's something to be said for somebody who you can turn to when you need help, but you don't necessarily have to turn to somebody. You're okay on your own, but you wouldn't mind having somebody there in case something does come up where you need some help. So
Yeah,
I think those
we
are
want
my
someone
feelings.
who cares enough to step in for us, even if we can do it ourselves.
Yes.
I agree to it. We want, it's interesting. We women, I mean, we want to be equals. We want to be respected, and we should be, but we also want somebody who will go out there and slay a dragon for us if we happen to need somebody to bring home dragon wings for dinner. I don't know. So it's
Right.
it's just it's interesting when we're reading books. We do want that person to really stand above the average and earn our love as a romance hero.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have.
And
Oh, I said, Kresge author says one that opens doors and holds umbrellas.
Oh man, I don't do umbrellas. Umbrellas hate me. I don't do umbrellas, but I get her point. That makes a lot of sense. And one of the things I always say about my books is I have heroines who don't need a man, but when they find the one that they want, they'll go after him.
I like that. I like that. I like that. And frankly, I do need a man. I know we always seem to swing the pendulum way one way or the other for a while. It was like, women were kind of, you remember like in the 50s and 60s, women were kind of like made fun of a little bit and had the dumb blonde jokes and all that rude stuff. And now it's kind of swung the other way. And man, they're all evil and horrible and rotten. I'm like, no, they're not. I mean,
no, they're not.
Fine admitting I need a man. Oh my gosh, your heart comes in so handy when I'm trying to open a jar. It's like, I'm like, muscles, I need your muscles. Oh, Jeannie says her favorite hero is someone who's faithful, kind to everyone, and someone who loves the main character and tells them, but doesn't smother them. Again, like what we're talking about, someone who doesn't BS, and we want that in real life too. Secure,
Absolutely.
Supportive, desires me. Yeah, that's kind of important, huh, Nicole? Oh, and Cindy posted her husband is her hero. I love that. That's very cute.
Aww.
And Jeannie says she can't do umbrellas either, so you're not able to. But yeah,
I'm not alone.
We do want them to be just a little larger than life, more capable, more everything, and of course, real life guys, sometimes it can be a little hard to live up to a romance hero. And so I think it's always good to remember that, the romance heroes have flaws, and so are our real heroes, right? But so as we're talking about book boyfriends, let's talk a little bit, circle back to just life in general, things we're thankful for. I know Anna and I are both thankful that we are still employed as writers. That is a really good thing in this day and age. But feel free to post, you guys, something you're thankful for here as we're getting down with Thanksgiving coming upon us soon. Let us know what you're thankful for. And what are you thankful for, Anna?
I'm thankful for quite a bit. I think probably in the last couple of years, I've learned to be really thankful for my community and my neighbors. You and I were talking about this earlier. My mom passed away a year ago in February. And I was very lucky before then. I had some new neighbors move in the little cul-de-sac where I live in my HOA. And we'd become friendly before my mom passed. But after my mom passed, they really stepped up to help me traverse the new existence I found myself in. I'm in my 50s and I was no longer a caretaker, and that takes that's a learning curve. You have to learn how to not be at somebody's attention all the time. So I'm very thankful for my neighbors. I'll give you an example. This past year in June, my birthday's in June, and I was gone during my birthday. My niece was getting married up in Canada. My niece from my half brother, and had a lovely trip. And I left the day before Memorial Day, and I came back a week later. My neighbors picked me up at the airport at 12 o'clock at night. That alone tells you how amazing they are.
No kidding.
And they drove me right past their house to my house, which I'm like, well, that's weird because, I could have gotten out in your garage. You didn't have to drive all the way up and everything. So I went to bed and I got up the next morning and my neighbor Rosemary calls me and she says, we know you missed your birthday because I flew back on my birthday. So she says, the neighbors just kind of want to get together and have a little, just a little happy birthday surprise. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I came out of my house and all of my neighbors, not even the ones in the cul-de-sac, it was like people from around the corner and down the block and everything. There probably close to 20 people there. And one of them, my neighbor 2 houses down, Omar, took my hand and let me into my backyard. And while I was on vacation, my neighbors got together and landscaped my backyards.
Oh, wow.
Flowers, plants, gravel, furniture, because my backyard, I have 2 side yards on either side of my house. And it was just, I keep the windows closed because it was just hideous. It was just dirt and cement. It is glorious. They put up solar lights. They hung little ornaments from the overhanging tree from Rosemary Richards' next door yard. And I just burst into tears. And then they came in and we had a little party in my one side yard. And every morning since, I start my day going out to that yard and being filled with such gratitude and such happiness that they thought to do that. I had no idea it was going to happen, obviously. And since then, I know help or advice or just somebody to kill time with. Just a couple of doors down or 1 door down or whatever. So they've really become family in the last couple of years.
Wow.
So,
that's
amazing. And those are the kind of books that I write. That's the kind of thing that happens in my books. That doesn't happen in real life, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is very unusual. I have to say, that's just like a moment when you come home and your neighbors have done that for you. That's just, talk about neighbors to be thankful for. That is just so amazing. And I do see a lot of people posting that they're thankful for the people in their lives. Thankful for their family, thankful for their health. That's another thing. Boy, we take it for granted until it's not so good. Cindy says, for my Lord, my family, a place to live. And and for my health. I'm starting to hit the fall apart years. And it seems like, oh my gosh, I told Gerhard the other day, I remember when I could run and nothing hurt. What is this about?
Oh, yeah. So, no, those days are long gone.
Oh my God. There is so much to be thankful for. Diane says, I would love to wake up to my backyard being shaped up. I just can't do it anymore. Yeah, I hear you. There comes a point kind of when you have to let some things go. And of course, with you, with the yard and everything, you were busy caretaking for your mom. You're busy working on your career, writing, paying bills. There's only so much you can do, and there's only so much time. So how cool that these people saw a need and just filled it. That's just
exactly.
That's a great story. That's a great Thanksgiving story. Wow, something to be thankful for. Well, guys, how about we'll just a couple of little Thanksgiving trivia questions. Let's see if y'all and Anna can. I mean, I couldn't answer these, but you might be able to answer one. But let's talk. First of all, let's talk turkey. Anybody want to guess how many turkeys are eaten every year at Thanksgiving? Those poor turkeys.
Oh, I know.
Make my turkey noise. Oh, that's my turkey noise. So how many, guys? How many do you think? Get really wild. Get really out there with your estimate because that's a huge, huge number. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. All you're posting. Oh, what did Jeannie just said? Anna, I read that in a book, what your neighbors did. Oh, if I read that in a book, I'd say, yeah, like that would happen.
Right?
That's so true.
That's exactly what I told them when we were out there celebrating. I'm like, these things just don't happen.
Oh my gosh, that's just amazing. Yeah. Okay, Jeannie says 3.5 million. She's the highest, or go higher. Think more, think higher. What do you think? What do you think, Anna? How many turkeys do you think are eaten at Thanksgiving? Poor thing.
I'm gonna say 22 million.
Now you're getting a little closer, but it's even more than that.
Even more.
Oh, somebody's getting close. 56. Oh, that's 1,000. No. I will tell you. Oh, 41. We're getting close. 46 million turkeys consumed at Thanksgiving. I should have checked to see how many people are eating tofurkey. I didn't check that out. I'm sure somebody is saving the turkeys and eating tofurkey. Sadly, we don't have to be one of those families. But so let's
No.
move on to pumpkin pies, guys. How many pumpkin pies do you think are consumed at Thanksgiving? By the way, pumpkin pie is the most popular pie at Thanksgiving. Although I gotta say, I sure do like pecan pie or pecan pie, depending on what part of the country you're from, right? I think if I'm in the South, I should be saying pecan pie.
Yeah, I only had pecan pie for the first time like a couple of years ago. I'm in
Oh,
California. It's just not a thing. It
not a
wasn't a
thing.
thing in my family. So I'm like, oh, I'm kind of getting I'm getting the affection for it. I understand it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. With whipped cream. It always has to have whipped cream. By the way,
Oh
you
yeah.
guys, on my Instagram, people, a while back, I did the post about making a homemade pumpkin ice cream. I just had the last of that today for lunch, with whipped cream. And you have that pumpkin ice cream with whipped cream. It tastes just like pumpkin pie. Oh my goodness, that was good. So
Oh.
pumpkin pie is one of my favorites, especially for breakfast. Okay, so now we're
Mm.
guessing on pies. Oh, Jeannie said I buy canned pumpkin for my dog's food. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. 46 million turkeys. Yeah, so 50 million pumpkin pies. Let me look at where I wrote this down. Oh my gosh, you nailed it on the nose. Who said that? So where'd it go? So who said 50 million? Where'd you
50
go?
million. Wow.
That's positive. I saw that. Yeah, Diane Clark said 50 million. Diane, you hit it on the nose. 50 million and 42. Obviously, that's close. 35 million. Yeah, you guys have got the idea. A lot. That is a lot of pumpkin pies.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I think I don't know how many Costco sells every year, but I know they sell a ton of pumpkin pies.
I wonder how many tubs of Cool Whip that is.
Or just regular. Oh, I'm a pure. Gotta have the regular whipped cream. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Love whipped cream. But yeah, I should have looked that up too. How many tubs of Cool Whip are sold during Thanksgiving time? Oh my gosh, a lot. Okay, here's another question for you guys. Who was the first president to declare Thanksgiving a national holiday? Anybody got an idea?
Oh God, that's a history question. I'm out.
Gina says she makes a mean pecan pie. Oh man, Jeannie, I'll be right over. It's so funny, I gotta say, I see so many names now, and of course, I've met a lot of you over the years at signing and events, and I just feel like we've all become friends. And sometimes it frustrates me. I wish I could just teleport myself to different houses to pop in and visit with some of you in person, because it's just like people post stuff and I go, oh man, we'd have so much fun together if we were neighbors. Oh goodness. Somebody said Roosevelt on Instagram said Roosevelt. No, go further back. First president to declare Thanksgiving. I'll give you a couple more minutes and we'll just see if anybody gets it. I didn't realize Eisenhower. No. Teddy Roosevelt. No. Yeah, okay. Somebody say, I give up. I want to tell you, it was George Washington actually declared the first Thanksgiving. It obviously didn't stick. And now Cindy said Lincoln. And interesting, you should say that, because it came back full circle. I forgot the lady's name. I did look it up online. Kept lobbying. We needed Thanksgiving. We needed an official Thanksgiving. And Lincoln was the one who made it official again after the Civil War. Like, we need to be thankful for something. And so made it official. And by the way, this is kind of interesting. There was one president who said, nope, we are not doing that. And anybody want to guess what president it was that says, nope, we're not doing it? And that's back early in our history too. If you don't know off the top of the head, when I tell you, oh, I get it. I get why. Oh, hello, Lynn has joined us from North Carolina. Hi to all of you for coming late. Hi to all my Instagram people. I hope you're having fun figuring out our trivia here. So if you can't guess, I will just tell you, it was Thomas Jefferson, because he was the big believer in separation of church and state. And that means you guys go be thankful on your own, but we are not making this a national holiday, which I thought was very interesting. And then in the end, Lincoln got his way and it said, no, we're gonna find something to be thankful for. And so we're gonna make it a national holiday. And we've been eating turkey and tofurkey and pumpkin pie and pecan pie ever since. So there's your little bit of Thanksgiving trivia. Let's circle back now to our guest author and find out what some of Anna's favorite recipes and favorite foods are at Thanksgiving. And you guys can feel free to ring in and share some of your favorites too. What is the one thing I don't care if nothing else is there. This is what I want to see on my Thanksgiving table.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. It's got to be the carbs. Thanksgiving's all about the carbs. You know, the turkey's great. It looks pretty on a plate, but bring me that stuffing. Bring me that mashed potatoes. Bring me the biscuits and the whatever, the croissant rolls from the hot dough.
Stuffing.
I mean, it just, and actually, I'm more about the after Thanksgiving leftovers, like the turkey sandwiches and stuff, than I am about the actual, because by the time I get to the meal, if I've been cooking, because I've cooked many a Thanksgiving meal and I love to cook and bake. By the time I get to the actual meal on Thanksgiving Day, I'm full.
Yeah.
So and then I'm just looking forward to the sandwiches the next day. But mashed potatoes, man.
I'm seeing a lot of dressing and stuffing mentioned. And some of you, I bet, are people more in the southern. Ooh, homemade cranberry sauce. Wow, that sounds Susie, I really do need to come over at some point. I'm a big dressing girl. This is so sad. I used to love my mom's and my sister-in-law's homemade dressing, but for me myself, I'm stovetop all the way. I want my stovetop dress. I love.
There's something in that seasoning.
Yeah,
it's nostalgic.
Seasoning and salt. It's like, oh, yum. Somebody mentioned sweet potato casserole. Is that the one where it's all the brown sugar and all that stuff? Somebody also said, oh, yay for mashed potatoes. Crescent rolls. Oh, I'm starting to drool. I'm so hungry. Yeah, and so favorite. Okay, so then when it comes to dessert, are you a pumpkin pie girl?
Yeah, I prefer apple pie. I think there was one Thanksgiving where my mom had bought a frozen pumpkin pie, and it wasn't a pumpkin custard pie. It was like a pumpkin pie, and it tasted like squash. And it just kind of put me off of pumpkin pie from then on. But caveat, if you bury it in enough whipped cream, I will eat it. No problem.
That's too funny.
But I'll take an apple pie over anything this time of year.
Apple is also good, and berry, and I also love. My family were big on huckleberry pie. We'd go huckleberry picking and have wild huckleberry pie, and oh my gosh, that was always good. Pumpkin pie, yeah, Lynn. My only problem, no offense, Costco, but your pie crusts are awful. I am such a pie crust connoisseur. My mom was the queen of the pie makers, and she made such a good pie crust. And so I have yet to find, I take that back. There was one bakery on Bainbridge Island, the Blackbird Bakery, that made this amazing pie crust that had butter in it too. And that was really good. But usually everywhere you go, the pie crust is like cement. I'm like, oh, it's not flaky.
Pie crusts are tricky. In fact, I've been practicing on apple pies because I bake for some of my neighbors during the holidays. Well, all year now, actually. And I've tried different pies, and I'm not good at pie crusts. I just have to practice the pie crust more. So until I perfect that, they're coming off my menu. But they're tricky. They're not easy to do.
No, it's not. And the big secret to pie crust is you don't handle it a lot, because then you get it all mushed and gushed, and it loses its
and you use ice cold ingredients.
Even if it's not going to look good, one roll, and there you go. That's it. Baklava, somebody said. Debbie said baklava.
Ooh, yum. I love baklava.
Dude. And Pam says she prefers the fruit pies or chocolate. Oh boy, yeah. I have a great recipe for chocolate mint pie. I wonder if I need to include that in one of my upcoming newsletters. That's Frango mint pie, it's called. Oh my gosh. I think it's also called chocolate silk pie. Oh, that's yummy. And so, let's see. We've got one of our authors on Instagram, gluten and dairy free. Oh, so Thanksgiving has to be frustrating for you. Well, what kind of dessert are you having? Pecans without the crust, I'm assuming, and no stuffing for you, huh? Oh my gosh! And I see Karen Whitman is like, yeah, huckleberry pie. Oh my gosh, Thanksgiving can be tricky. I bet it can. That would be really challenging because so much of what we have. But you can have mashed potatoes, right, and yams. And I saw a lot of people the candied yams. Didn't you guys ever have those Kahlua yams where you put Kahlua in them? Oh my gosh. I never liked that before until one of my friends brought me from her Thanksgiving leftovers, and Kahlua yams were in there. And oh my gosh. French silk pie. That's it, Eileen. Oh my gosh. That is a yummy pie. But okay, so let's move. We're going to circle back to our guest again and find out, because again, after Thanksgiving comes Black Friday. So Anna, on Black Friday, are you going to be writing or shopping or doing both?
Neither. I wait until the following week to really shop.
Oh, that's interesting.
I shop all year. I have my list of people and I shop all year round. That way I'm not one of the ones scrambling at the last minute. And also, it's important that I stay out of stores as much as possible once the Christmas decorations go in, because I have a horrible shopping addiction to Christmas decorations. As you can see behind me, my decorations are already up.
I
And
love
my
that.
house looks like Hallmark threw up. So, yeah, it gets really dangerous for me going into stores that have any kind of Christmas decor. So, but I also pay attention to what people say during the year. And if I hear them say something like, oh, it'd be nice to have something like that, and I can find it on sale during the year, and then I just stick it in my gift closet and then I pull it out at the holidays. So
That's a great idea. Diane says, "Oh, Black Friday, she's going to be going to see Wicked with her family." Well, that sounds fun. That
I'm
would,
going opening day. I've already got my tickets. I'm so
gosh,
excited.
how fun is that? Oh, Cindy,
Next
do we even
Friday.
do we even like Cindy? Cindy says, "I'm basically done with my Christmas shopping." Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
that's my neighbor. She already,
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact, she
oh,
already
someone like
gift
that.
wrapped
No,
it
just
all
kidding, Cindy.
too.
Yeah, you. That's funny.
Oh,
And I do try to shop all year long because, especially, we were on such tight budgets for so many years that I
mm,
was like, if I waited till like even November to start shopping, people would be getting IOUs because that would be the end of the piggy bank stuff. Somebody
right.
started to post where to go, a funny story. Let me see if I can go back and find it from Nancy. Funny story. When my mom and her sisters were little, they went to their grandparents to visit. Their grandma had a pie crust cooling on the upstairs stairs. Oh no, my aunt lost her balance, stepped wrong. The pie crust, a glass pie pan, took a tumble. The pie pan
Um,
broke, but the pie crust looked perfect. Oh Lord, please tell me you guys didn't eat that. Ah, she obviously wasn't good in the kitchen. Oh my goodness. Okay, now that I may have to put
oh,
that in a book somewhere. That's like eek. Oh
oh,
goodness.
Lord.
Ah, oh my gosh. Well, of course, so many of us now do our Good Friday shopping online. But hey, you
Mm.
all know shopping, books, Christmas presents, books, Christmas presents. So let's talk a little bit about what Anna has coming out that might be fun for you if you're looking for something fun to buy for somebody for Christmas. Tell us what you got coming out and what's available, what we want to buy from you for someone for Christmas.
So I write sweet small town romance, and I also write romantic suspense. So my most recent book from Harlequin, Heartwarming, which is our sweet romance line, is The Single Dad's Promise. And it features a single dad of a 5-year-old girl named Freya, who's a little bit on the quirky side. And he encounters, while in Hawaii on a vacation, a young woman who's actually recovering from cancer. And the daughter and the heroine kind of hit it off, and it goes from there. And it's an island romance. It's a starting over romance, and it's about healing and falling in love and finding the people you're meant to be with. So that is out now and on sale everywhere that ebooks are sold. It's also in print, I believe, still, that you can get through Amazon. All the links are on my website, which we'll talk about later. And then actually coming out next week is my next romantic suspense, which is called Under the Marshal's Protection. And this is the second in my McKenna Code series, which my McKenna Code series I call Blue Bloods Meets FBI. So I have a family of law enforcement agents. This one is Reagan McKenna. Wait, I have to remember. No, this is Howell McKenna. He's a U.S. Marshal. Sorry, I just finished Reagan's book not too long ago, and it's still in my head. So this is Howell McKenna, and he is pretty much assigned to protect a federal prosecutor who has a bit of revenge on her mind, going back to talking about our favorite tropes. So that book comes out on Tuesday, and it'll be the second of 4 books. And it was really fun. I don't usually put a lot of kids in my romantic suspense books, but she's a single mom of 2. Which added another layer of danger and excitement into the books. So, and talk about a protective hero who is pretty much thinking he has to protect her from herself. But he's a really good guy. All of my heroes are always really good guys, and they're the kind of guys that you want to fall in love with. So those are my 2 recent books.
As it should be. So there you go, guys. And Anna is going to be giving away a book to somebody. We'll draw a name later and post. I try to remember to post on Instagram as well, because you all are also eligible. The only thing that we will do is make sure that you are a U.S. resident, because as many of you know, right now foreign shipping is a bit of a challenge here in the U.S. and things have gotten so expensive, not only for us sending, but for the people receiving. I'm going to make that so that Anna doesn't have to take out a loan to send out a book, but she is going to be sending one to somebody. Let's see. Genia says, Anna, do you have books with older characters? Any older characters in your books?
Most of my characters tend to be in their 30s and early 40s, so I don't know if that qualifies. In The Single Dad's Promise, my heroine is 26, but I'm finding that the older I get, the older my characters get, which I think is pretty typical for most writers. My other romantic suspense series, The Circle of the Red Lily, which is relaunching with a new publisher next year, those heroines are all in their mid to late 30s. So I'm veering into that. So stay tuned.
So there you go. So stay tuned. And it is nice. Yeah, I always like to do a variety of generations in my books, mainly because so many of us aren't 20 anymore. And I love reading about the younger characters and their adventures, but sometimes you want someone who's got a little bit of life under their belt that you can identify more with. So I think that's kind of neat that some of your characters are getting a little bit older. But again, guys, for Christmas, even if you're going, well, I don't necessarily like older characters on my book, there might be someone who will identify with that age. I swear I cannot talk today. That age range that you might want to buy for. So I think that's a fun thing to keep in mind. I need to mention just a quick commercial break before I forget. For all you out there, if this is for my California girls, you guys, I know a lot of you on here, you're not here on the West Coast, but if you know somebody in California, please pass the word. On Black Friday, I will be in Brea, California at the brand new Barnes and Noble there, and I'll be hanging out signing books. We're going to have a door prize giveaway. So from 2 to 4, if you happen to be anywhere near that area, do come and see me. I can hardly wait to see another new Barnes and Noble coming along. It's just fun. It's fun to see the explosion of bookstores everywhere, not only in that chain, but also the indie bookstores are such a thing now. And it's just really fun to see reading becoming a thing again. For
Thank
a while,
goodness.
it's like, oh, nobody's reading. And now it feels like it's just not cool if you're not reading. So I love to see this new trend. By the way, I wanted to circle back. I had a thought when you were talking about your books. Do you get to choose your own titles, or do they just say, here's the title we decided would be good for your book?
Typically I'm really bad with my titles. If I have one that I really, really like, I push for it, and my editor is usually really good about listening to me. But I also know that Harlequin's really good at identifying their tropes and knowing what their audience looks for. So I tend to trust them. I've had a few that I'm like, I don't like that title, but I'm not in a position to really push back. But for the most part, it's kind of 50-50.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Because sometimes, and same with cover art, we just did a cover reveal on Instagram for my new book that comes out end of May. And it's just interesting. I liked the first 3 so much. This one, I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then I realized, well, I am not the marketing guru, and marketing kind of rules the world. And people have been liking it. So, so what do I know? I decided, you can have your 2 cents worth as a writer, but in the end, the publisher often knows what's best. Oh, Lynn, I'm happy to hear that you're reading The Man Next Door and that you're liking it. Yes, guys, Christmas is coming. I hope some of you will want to be buying that for somebody that you like. And I do have also my little, that's only available on Amazon, my little Starry-Eyed for Christmas, my little space alien romance, which was just so out there, but I just had to write it. That's kind of that's a clean read. Give it to anybody and they'll be perfectly happy with it. Let's see. Diane says, oh yeah, come to the Jersey Shores. Wouldn't that be fun? Have you ever been to the Jersey Shores, Anna?
I haven't. No. That sounds like fun.
Make a trip out there, guys, and see. I think that would be way fun. Well, Anna, tell us, of course, we're not going to make it to Jersey Shores anytime soon, probably. So where can people find you and your amazing red hair?
Through my website is the best place. www.authorannastewart, STEWERT at the end.com. I'm on Facebook at author Anna J. Stewart. Same for Instagram. I'm also on Threads, I think. And then, yeah, that's primarily the best place to. Although next year I will be attending the RAGT 2026 in is it in Cincinnati or Kentucky? I should know since I'm going. But the reader and author get together. I will be there next year. It'll be my first time, and I am so looking forward to it. It's supposed to be a really great event.
I need to make it to one of those someday. I keep hearing all about them. They sound fabulous. That'll be a fun thing. By the way, I don't want I'm Krusky, I hope I'm saying that right, author, to think we neglected you with your not being able to eat gluten. It looks like you got it covered one way or the other. So I hope you'll be able to enjoy your Thanksgiving meal. I hope all of you will have a wonderful one. I don't think we'll have anything going next Thursday. We might, but I have a feeling I'm going to be off hanging out with my local family since Gerhardt and I will be in sunny California for Thanksgiving. So stay tuned, but we do have more fun things scheduled for December, and I'm already booking exciting and fun guests for the new year. And I hope you guys are enjoying doing these little gatherings Sunday. I know I had fun talking with Anna. Isn't she just cool? So I'm glad you all could join us today. And if I don't get a chance to see y'all beforehand, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we're going to sort of sign you off, say goodbye first to our fabulous Instagram people. Thank you so much for taking time. We appreciate it. And then also to our Facebook gang. Again, now Facebook, as you all know, doesn't keep these up for very long anymore, but this will still be up on YouTube, as are all the older interviews and things that I've done. So you can always check those out there. And thanks for joining us. A big thank you to Anna for taking time to hang out with us for a little bit. And Anna, I hope you're going to have a fabulous Thanksgiving and enjoying your wonderful new landscape yard that you're for you. So cool.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me, Sheila. I look forward to sending one of my books off to a lucky winner.
All right. Very good, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.